What's up, guys? Today we're looking at this knife. This is the Boker Plus Cataclyst. I thought it was pronounced Catalyst when I first saw it, but it's actually Cataclyst. This is a full titanium frame lock. As you can see here, it's on the smaller side. Very small, compact design, as you can see. And it's a flipper. As you see here, flick it out. There you go. It's a Boker Plus knife. Been out for a little while. They also make a cheaper version, G10. This has a D2 steel blade. You can see there, nice tie frame lock. D2 steel blade, very simple design. It's got a nice milled pocket clip, which actually is, we'll talk about that pocket clip. It's got some jimping on the blade. It's got a nice backspacer, titanium backspacer with some jimping. And there you go, you got Boker on this side, a little number, model number, whatever. And then this side says D2. And you got this nice, I would call that a really, maybe a straight back, maybe a clip point. Looks like a little bit of a slight clip point blade. Flat ground, so not super thin, because as you can see here, this is a thick boy. For some reason, I don't know why they did this. They made this knife really thick, compared to how big it is. I'll show you some comparisons, but we'll talk about that too. So disengage it. This one runs on bearings. Pretty much takes a little bit of encouragement. Not quite drop shut. Takes a little bit of encouragement. Flips open really snappy though. It's more of just like a push button kind of deal. Kind of like a top push button. I mean, you can light switch it as well. Maybe a kind of a hybrid. But it works really well. Flipper's great. It's got this hole in the flipper, which is kind of interesting. It's got a T6 pivot, I think, which is kind of sad, honestly. I don't think it should have a T6 pivot. I think all knives should have a T8 pivot. So that's unfortunate. Let me just check here and make sure this is actually a T6. Oh, no, it's a T8. I was wrong. It is, in fact, a T8 pivot. So that's great. But you do have T6 spy screws, which is fine. That's normal. Pretty solid lockup. Don't feel much movement. Maybe a tiny touch side to side, but I'm sure I could adjust that a little bit more. It's got a steel lock bar insert with an over travel stop on the inside. You can see there. I don't know if you can see from. Let's see if you can see from the side. There you go. That's the over travel stop there. That little tab. Let's see. Is there any weight reduction? Doesn't look like there's much. No, it doesn't really look like there's any weight reduction on the inside of this. So it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit of a small, chunky knife, but very smooth. I can get 4 fingers. If I really cramp up, I can get 4 fingers. It's mostly 3 fingers though for me. It's not quite 4 fingers. Good jimping, feels good in the hand. Let's do some size comparisons. Let's compare it up against the QSP Penguin. A little bit of a smaller knife here. So pretty similar in size to that, maybe a little bit not quite as long as that. Let's compare it to a Benchmade Bug Out. So definitely not as long as that one either. So you can see it's a very small, pretty much a smaller knife. Not much, maybe about the same amount of cutting edge as a QSP Penguin. Really not a very big knife at all. So, and then we'll also compare it to a couple other bigger ones. The PM2 and the Para 3, which I have here. You see there. And closer in size to the Para 3, obviously. And we'll also compare it to the ZT-0308. There you go, ZT-0308. So you can see there, it's nowhere near the size of that knife. It's definitely a lot smaller. This is more of like a pen knife kind of style. Something you would slip in. It's more of a classy design. I would call this a gentleman folder. Something you slip in your suit coat or whatever, because it's a little classy, envelope opener or whatever you want to use it for. It's small EDC knife. It works well, flips well. It's been pretty sturdy, pretty reliable. No problems with it. The clip is very pinchy. When you get this over your pocket, there's not much room in there for your pocket seam to fit, and it does pinch a lot. There's like not much give to this pocket clip at all, which is unfortunate because it actually looks like a nice pocket clip, but it is very pinchy. So the pocket clip should be different. I think it needs to be, it needs to not have this one point where it sticks on the frame, because then you're jamming it into your pocket. It's very pinchy, is what I'm trying to get at. It's got the jimping here, and it's got the jimping on the blade. The blade stock is thick. You can compare it to the 308 here. You see it's almost, I would say, almost just as thick as the 308, which is crazy because this is a massive folder. This is a big bruiser knife, and this is a small little gentleman's knife. So it's interesting that they put a very thick blade on such a small knife. I'm not sure why they did that, but they did. So that is the Boker Plus Cataclyst. This is the premium version, the titanium, obviously, which is nice. I think they did a good job. It feels good. Everything feels good. It's very snappy, nice to fidget with. And I like how flat shiny this blade is. It's a nice high polish satin blade. I think it looks really good. It does get a little, fingerprints on it and everything, but that's normal. But yeah, I think it looks good. I like the fuller. I like how the fuller runs out to the tip and then kind of disappears into the when it ends. It's kind of cool how they did that. Overall, pretty good. Centering looks great. Flips well, pretty smooth and consistent. Did need some break-in period. It did need some KPL, but other than that, it's a good knife. And that's about everything I got for this one. Let me know what you guys think of the Boker knives in general. Let me know what you think of this knife. And that's it. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye.